To start off this week's news, Eminem just dropped a huge album. It's fire. It's called Kamikaze. So what did you think about it, David?
I think, as a person who was not a huge Eminem fan for my whole entire life, this album brought me in as one. I love Eminem because he's one of the most honest artists there is out there, and he knew that he was taking a risk by reaching out to a lot of people in a negative way, and since it was honest, I think it hit home with a lot of people.
He even had that at one of his points, at one of the points on the album. I think he mentioned in a phone conversation with his producer, Paul.
Is that who that was?
Paul?
That was his producer, Paul?
Yeah. So he mentioned that he was going to go at everybody that basically hated on his last album, Revival. And, I personally, as somebody who is an Eminem fan, I really enjoyed this album. At points, it kind of became obnoxious, though, where he was just kind of going against everybody. But at other points, it seemed to really get the point across, and I personally loved the album. David, what was your favorite song in the album?
I think the best song, this is a popular opinion, but I think the best song was Lucky You. I've never been the biggest Joyner. What's his name?
I think you're right.
I've never been the biggest fan of him. I know he had some beef with Logic that he kind of came back on with this song a little bit, but I think Eminem's verse in this really shows the whole album and what he's going for, and I think he takes some of his harder shots in that song.
Well, my favorite, I think, was Stepping Stone. I really like that. I also like Not Alike because the way the beat, it's not necessarily the beat, it's the way he flows. Like, right. We are not alike. And, the way he does that is he's bashing Migos and the way that they've been producing music. And I just think that is so cool because I even put it, I don't know what song it was exactly, but I put it up to Migos and I played them at the same time, and it is the exact same flow. And I know he kind of does that with Ringer, and then he bashes
he's
so many different people
mocking
in that song.
All of the newer artists.
But I love that.
Yes,
I love that because
I
I personally am not the biggest fan of mumble rap and things like that. So
and I also think it's so true when he says that the artists today don't care about the past artists, and you listen to the music that they're making today, you never hear Eminem was the greatest or anything like that. They're all saying, here's what we're doing now, and here's the people who I might collab with, but they're not like Eminem is the man.
That's very true. Very true. It's almost like they don't even look up to him, even though he even establishes, which we're going into right now, is he even establishes that he brought a lot of these rappers to the charts. He brought a lot of them to the public eye. Now, speaking of which, obviously we put down that a lot of these artists have been having reaction videos. For instance, Hobson, he had a reaction video, and he was so hyped that Eminem even knew who he was.
He was literally falling on the floor going, "Oh my God, he responded to my song. I gotta
tell my mommy."
Whoa! Oh, hey! What? I didn't even know he knew who the I was. God damn! He said, "Don't tell him about the culture," implying that I'm part of the culture. Oh, man, I gotta call my mom.
And then obviously we've had the whole. It's very interesting that Machine Gun Kelly and G-Eazy all just kind of turn around as if they were, in a standoff with Eminem, and they all started releasing music against Eminem.
What do you think about that Machine Gun Kelly, the diss track called Rap Devil?
I think he is about to enter a world of hurt from Eminem.
I hope so.
Eminem is a lyrical
Eminem
genius. I think
back.
I saw something earlier that Eminem released something. and it may have been a diss towards Machine Gun Kelly. I'm not 100% positive yet, but
So that whole the beef between those two started with Machine Gun Kelly. The whole tweet was just Eminem's daughter is hot. That's where it started from. And then
now you're already starting off on a bad foot.
This is Eminem coming back this was his argument, is that 5 years later, 6 years later, whatever it was, Eminem rips on him in a song for that tweet. That's a legitimate claim, I think.
Well, another, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's crazy you don't think that's crazy for Eminem to write about a tweet that happened 6 years ago?
I'm just surprised that he did. To me, I would just let it die.
That's what I think.
I mean, you are now giving Machine Gun Kelly publicity that obviously he was almost gone. Nobody cared about Machine Gun Kelly. And now that Eminem has released his album and dissed Machine Gun Kelly, you give like, it's almost like a good example is Drake and
Pusha T.
Pusha T, thank you. Pusha T is so irrelevant, but he keeps bringing up that feud just so that he can stay in the limelight.
Right.
Not a fan.
I don't know. I mean,
not a fan.
Machine Gun Kelly definitely capitalized on this whole thing. It's 100% to his benefit. Nobody listened to this and went, "I'm not going to listen to MGK anymore. He's trash." Eminem called him out. But on the other hand, I'm not a big fan of this diss track.
Who, Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah. Like, there's a few lines in there that I think just are kind of worthless. Like, he's like, "You call me, or I'm named after a gangster. You're named after a candy."
Ooh.
That's your best line? what is that?
And then the last reaction video we got was Lil Pump's reaction with the "Thank you, I deserved that." Obviously, there are other people that reacted to this, and I know one of the people that reacted was the red hair guy.
Ed Sheeran.
No, he literally dyes his hair red. It's not Lil Pump. Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty commented, and he made a reaction, and he goes, something along the lines of, "I feel honored that Eminem mentioned me in his songs." Had nothing to do with anything else. He was just honored.
And Eminem's line was, "I could see why you might like Lil Yachty, but not me, though." And
That's it.
And he's honored.
That's it. Yeah, and he's honored.